Did you know that over 70% of young people in the UK are worried about their financial future? Or that home ownership is now a dream for most people under 30, with house prices rising faster than wages? These shocking numbers paint a grim picture of what life in the UK could look like in the coming years. But what if I told you that staying in the UK might soon be a decision you regret for the rest of your life? As the UK faces a declining economy, increasing crime rates, and a broken healthcare system, the future seems uncertain for many. And if you think it can't get worse, think again. By 2030, things could be even more unbearable, with political instability and rising costs pushing more people to their limits. But here's the question. Is it worth staying and risking everything? Or should you consider leaving before it's too late? The truth is, the UK is heading toward a future where basic rights like affordable housing, reliable healthcare, and economic security might no longer exist for most people. So what should you do now? Stick around, because in the next few minutes, we'll reveal why leaving the UK before 2030 might be your best option, and why waiting could cost you everything. You won't want to miss this. Keep watching to find out what the future really holds, and how you can take control of your life before it's too late. Number 1. The economic decline of the UK. The economic decline in the UK is becoming unavoidable, with rising inflation and soaring living costs, leaving citizens struggling to make ends meet. Over the past decade, wages have remained stagnant, while prices for basic goods have skyrocketed. A recent report revealed that the cost of essential services like electricity, gas, and food has nearly doubled, further squeezing household budgets. By 2030, experts predict the UK's economy could face even more significant challenges, including higher unemployment and a decreased standard of living. Additionally, the wealth gap is rapidly expanding, with the rich getting richer and the middle and lower classes falling further behind. A recent study found that the wealthiest 10% of the population now hold more than half of the country's total wealth. For most people, this means fewer opportunities for upward mobility. As inflation continues to rise and wages stay stagnant, financial security becomes a distant dream for many. The UK government's economic policies have also failed to address these widening disparities, and it seems that this trend will continue to worsen. The combination of a weakened economy, skyrocketing inflation, and an unaffordable housing market creates a perfect storm for those looking to build wealth. For anyone who has been holding out hope for improvement, the reality is harsh. By 2030, the UK could be a much harder place to live financially. Those who don't make the decision to leave early might regret it later when they realise their financial future has been compromised beyond repair. Number 2. The rising cost of housing. The housing crisis in the UK is one of the most pressing issues facing the country, and it's only getting worse. Over the past few years, house prices have skyrocketed, with many regions seeing increases of up to 10% per year. This rapid price growth has left millennials and younger generations struggling to afford a home, pushing home ownership further out of reach for most. In fact, recent data shows that property prices are now, on average, 7 times the average salary, a gap that is widening each year. As a result, the dream of owning a home is becoming a nightmare for many, especially in high-demand cities like London, Manchester, and Bristol. But it's not just home ownership that's under threat. Renting is becoming equally unaffordable, with monthly rent rising at a pace that outstrips average wage growth. In some areas, rent prices have increased by 25% over the past 5 years alone, leaving renters with less disposable income and less security in their living arrangements. Experts predict that by 2030, this housing affordability gap will widen further, pushing more people into the rental market or out of the country entirely. The UK government's inability to build enough new homes and the reliance on the private sector to handle housing development has made the situation worse. For anyone hoping to own a home or find affordable housing, the UK's property market presents a serious challenge. If you don't make your move soon, you may find yourself priced out completely. Now's the time to consider relocating to a country where housing is still affordable before the UK housing market shuts you out for good. Number 3. Declining healthcare services. The UK's National Health Service, NHS, once hailed as a global model for healthcare, is now facing a crisis. Over the past several years, funding cuts, staff shortages, and increased demand have severely strained the system, leading to longer wait times and a reduction in the quality of care. Waiting lists for surgeries and appointments are at an all-time high, with patients often waiting months or even years for essential treatments. In some areas, emergency services are being overwhelmed, with ambulance response times delayed and urgent care centres stretched to breaking point. Reports from healthcare professionals and patients alike show a worrying decline in service quality. GP appointments have become harder to secure, and many people are being turned away from emergency care due to overcrowded hospitals. The healthcare system is failing to keep up with the increasing demands of an ageing population and growing health needs. Mental health services are particularly under pressure, with long waits for therapy and treatment becoming increasingly common. By 2030, experts predict that the NHS will be unable to provide the level of care that citizens currently expect. Without significant reforms and investment, the healthcare system will likely continue to deteriorate. For those who rely on quality healthcare, this presents a major risk to their well-being. The declining state of healthcare could become a significant reason for individuals to leave the UK in search of better, more reliable healthcare systems abroad. Countries with private healthcare systems or well-funded public healthcare options may offer a more secure future for those looking to prioritise their health and quality of life. Don't wait until the situation becomes untenable. Make the decision before it's too late. Number 4. Political instability and uncertainty. The political landscape of the UK has been in turmoil for several years, and it shows no signs of stabilising. The aftermath of Brexit continues to cause deep divisions, with the country facing economic and social repercussions that have created uncertainty and distrust in the political system. The UK has been plagued by a series of governmental shifts, with political leaders often struggling to implement effective policies. This instability has left citizens feeling unsure about the future, as important decisions on issues like trade, immigration, and public services remain unclear. One of the biggest concerns is the rise of polarisation between different political factions, which has made it harder to form lasting solutions to the country's most pressing issues. Divisive politics and government gridlock are becoming more common, and with the lack of a unified vision for the country's future, many citizens are beginning to question the direction the UK is heading. If this political instability continues, it could lead to even more drastic changes in governance, making long-term planning nearly impossible. By 2030, it's possible that the UK will face more frequent elections, shifting policies, and social unrest, which will further complicate the lives of everyday people. For those looking for stability and certainty in their lives, this environment is far from ideal. Many people are already considering relocating to countries with more stable political environments, where they can find peace of mind and avoid the constant turmoil of British politics. If you're tired of the uncertainty, it may be time to start exploring options elsewhere before the UK's political instability makes life even more unpredictable. Number 5. Lack of economic opportunities. The lack of economic opportunities in the UK is becoming a growing concern, particularly for younger generations who are struggling to find stable, well-paying jobs. Unemployment rates have been rising, and many people are finding themselves stuck in low-wage or part-time positions with little hope of advancement. Despite the government's efforts, economic growth has been sluggish, and industries that once provided reliable jobs are shrinking. The rise of automation, global outsourcing, and the decline of traditional sectors like manufacturing and retail are leaving many people without viable career options. One of the most alarming trends is the increasing youth unemployment rate, which is significantly higher than the national average. For many young people, entering the workforce feels like an uphill battle, with entry-level jobs often requiring higher qualifications or years of experience. Even those who manage to land a job often face stagnant wages, with salary growth failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living. This creates a vicious cycle where individuals are forced to live paycheck to paycheck, unable to save or invest in their future. Looking ahead to 2030, experts predict that the job market will become even more competitive, with fewer opportunities for those seeking long-term career growth. The UK's economic landscape is expected to continue its decline, and for many, moving abroad will become the only viable option for finding better job prospects and financial security. Countries with booming industries, better job markets, and higher wages will attract skilled workers seeking a more promising future. If you're feeling stuck in the UK's job market, it might be time to consider moving to a place where opportunity is still within reach. Number 6. Increasing crime and safety. Concerns. Safety has become a growing concern in many parts of the UK, with crime rates steadily increasing across the country. From violent crime to theft, burglary, and antisocial behaviour, people are feeling less secure in their own neighbourhoods. Recent statistics show a disturbing rise in incidents of knife crime, gang violence, and street attacks, particularly in urban areas. The UK government's efforts to combat crime have proven ineffective in reducing these alarming trends, and many cities are witnessing a breakdown in community safety. The fear of being attacked or becoming a victim of crime is affecting people's day-to-day lives. In certain parts of major cities, residents are now avoiding walking at night due to rising concerns about personal safety. Furthermore, policing resources are stretched thin, with response times delayed and police presence dwindling in high-risk areas. As law enforcement struggles to keep up, crime is becoming more prevalent, leaving citizens to question how much longer they can tolerate living in an environment where they feel unsafe. By 2030, these trends could worsen, as growing social unrest, economic pressures, and a lack of proper law enforcement funding create a breeding ground for more crime. For individuals concerned about their personal safety and the safety of their families, the increasing crime rate presents a major issue. Countries with lower crime rates and more effective law enforcement systems could offer a much safer living environment. If the current situation in the UK continues to deteriorate, relocating to a country with a lower crime rate and a stronger sense of security may soon be a necessary step to ensure peace of mind and safety. Don't wait until it's too late. Consider your options now before it's a life-threatening issue. Number 7. Quality of education deteriorating. The education system in the UK has been facing significant challenges in recent years, and the situation is only expected to worsen. Funding cuts, overcrowded classrooms, and understaffed schools have placed immense pressure on both teachers and students. As a result, the quality of education has steadily declined, leaving students with fewer opportunities to succeed. According to recent reports, the teacher shortage is becoming critical, with many schools struggling to fill teaching positions, particularly in subjects like math, science, and languages. This shortage has led to larger class sizes and less individual attention for students, making it difficult for them to thrive academically. Additionally, the curriculum itself is under scrutiny, with many arguing that it is outdated and no longer fits the needs of today's globalized, tech-driven world. Standardized testing has become the primary focus, pushing students to memorize facts rather than develop critical thinking or problem-solving skills. As the educational system continues to be bogged down by these systemic issues, students are being left unprepared for the challenges of the future. The pressure on students has resulted in increased mental health issues, with more children and young adults experiencing stress, anxiety, and depression as they try to meet academic expectations. By 2030, experts predict that the quality of education will only decline further, with more schools struggling to meet the needs of their students. For parents concerned about their children's future, this trend presents a serious issue. Countries with better funded education systems smaller class sizes, and a focus on developing 21st century skills may offer a brighter future. If you want your child to receive a high-quality education, moving abroad could be the best decision for their academic and personal growth. Number 8. Climate change and environmental challenges. The UK is increasingly feeling the effects of climate change, and the situation is only set to worsen by 2030. Extreme weather events such as flooding, heat waves, and stronger storms have become more frequent, posing significant threats to both the environment and daily life. Areas across the country are experiencing rising sea levels, which put coastal cities and towns at greater risk of being submerged. In fact, several regions in the UK have already faced devastating floods that caused widespread damage to homes and infrastructure, leaving many families displaced and facing hefty repair bills. The effects of global warming are hitting harder and faster, and many areas may become increasingly uninhabitable due to the dangers of flooding and coastal erosion. Furthermore, the UK's air quality continues to decline, particularly in urban centres like London and Manchester, where pollution levels often exceed recommended safe limits. Poor air quality can have severe health impacts, especially for children and the elderly. As the planet continues to warm, the UK will face more intense heat waves, pushing temperatures beyond what is currently manageable for the population. This increase in extreme weather could strain energy supplies, disrupt agriculture, and lead to a rise in climate refugees. Looking ahead to 2030, experts predict that these environmental challenges will only intensify, making certain regions of the UK more vulnerable to the harsh effects of climate change. For individuals who are concerned about their environmental future, relocating to countries with more stable climates and better climate resilience strategies could be a more secure option. Moving abroad may offer a safer, healthier, and more sustainable living environment for you and your family in the years to come. Number 9. Better quality of life abroad. As the challenges in the UK continue to mount, more and more people are considering relocating to countries that offer a better quality of life. Nations with strong economies, stable political systems, and affordable housing are becoming increasingly attractive options for those looking to escape the mounting pressures of life in the UK. Countries like Canada, Australia, and certain parts of Europe offer a better balance between work, life, and community, providing environments that support both personal and professional growth. These countries often have lower crime rates, better healthcare systems, and a higher level of environmental stability, all of which contribute to a better standard of living. For many, moving abroad means access to world-class healthcare, which is often more efficient and less strained than the NHS in the UK. Universal healthcare systems in places like Sweden or Germany ensure that citizens receive high-quality care without long waiting times or crippling costs. Furthermore, the job market in many countries abroad offers greater career opportunities, particularly in booming industries such as technology, engineering, and green energy. Countries with strong economies provide better prospects for long-term financial stability and personal wealth accumulation. Additionally, many of these countries boast beautiful landscapes, outdoor recreational opportunities, and a better work-life balance. People are able to enjoy a less stressful lifestyle, with more time spent with family and engaging in personal interests. Moving abroad can be the escape you need to not only improve your career and financial prospects, but also to secure a healthier, more balanced life. If you're tired of the struggles in the UK, now is the time to explore opportunities elsewhere that offer a brighter future for you and your family. Number 10. The emotional and psychological toll. Living in a country experiencing constant economic uncertainty, political instability, and social unrest can take a significant emotional and psychological toll on individuals. The ongoing stress of dealing with financial pressures, rising living costs, and the fear of an uncertain future can lead to anxiety, depression, and burnout. Many people in the UK are already feeling overwhelmed by the combination of personal challenges and the strain of a country in crisis. The mental health impact of this constant stress is undeniable, and for many, it's affecting their overall quality of life. The uncertainty surrounding the future of healthcare, the safety concerns from increasing crime, and the lack of economic opportunities can make it feel like there's no solid ground to stand on. This emotional toll can also affect relationships, as the pressure of financial strain and political chaos can cause tension and breakdowns in communication. People are often left feeling helpless, trapped in a system that seems to be failing them at every turn. If these problems continue, the psychological impact on individuals will only intensify by 2030. The stress of living in a country where everyday life is dominated by fear, frustration, and uncertainty can have long-lasting effects on mental well-being. For those seeking a fresh start, relocating to a more stable environment might be the solution to restoring emotional balance and reclaiming peace of mind. Moving to a country with a better support system, greater political stability, and higher quality of life can be an opportunity to start anew, regain mental clarity, and improve overall happiness. If you're feeling emotionally drained, now could be the time to make a change for a healthier, more fulfilling future. So, after hearing all of this, what's your next move? The UK is clearly heading down a dangerous path, and waiting until 2030 could mean you'll miss your chance to make a change. If you want a better quality of life, better opportunities, and greater stability, now is the time to act. The future may be uncertain, but you have the power to take control of your destiny. It's time to seriously think about what's best for your future before it's too late. What do you think? Do you believe things will get worse in the UK, or do you think there's hope for change? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going. And if this video opened your eyes, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It takes just one click to stay informed and get more valuable content like this. We put a lot of effort into making these videos to help you make informed decisions, and we want to keep bringing you quality insights. So subscribe now and join our growing community of forward thinkers.